Hold on, let me do this. Yeah, anyway. The most horrifying PSA videos that got to me. Now, I'm actually in driver school right now, or I'm enlisted into driver school, and they showed me a drunk driving PSA, which basically just showed me a bunch of dead bodies and injured people. And they showed the drunk driver, and then we showed his victim's father. It was just, God.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about
Loud. I don't want to damage my
PSAs.
Public
Service announcements. More importantly, children's public service announcements. I think we all are afraid of our children.
Is the quality like...
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about
4K.
PSAs. Public service announcements. More of our, and the only way for them to digest this information,
You see the lag on
video format. And today we're going to be talking about a very strange, albeit fascinating, children's PSA that happened overseas in Great Britain back in the
UK. Don't.
1970s, eh? When, you know what, you just had to be a little more blunt with it. You had to traumatize children back then. That's one thing we don't have.
Yeah, instill it into their brains.
Now is we don't have traumatizing media. Sometimes, like let's say if you needed to warn a child not to play near a power line, you would make a following video that maybe goes like this.
You would just show them a dead kid on the power line.
Go on, get it. We're not supposed to go
Mike, go get it, Mike.
Go on, let's get down there.
Oh, that's just perfectly placed on it too. It's just like so inviting too. We're just on this fancy shaped pieces of metal. Come on in.
Go on, Mike. Go get it.
Good God! He exploded from the shins too. You know, you're probably thinking, well, that's gonna scare the children. Well, why? There's probably not any others, right?
When you fly your kite or model plane, remember you're in charge of a flying machine. Pilots have to observe safety rules. So must you.
The amount of kite flyers who probably got electrocuted or exploded must have been, catastrophically huge, right? Have you ever seen anyone unironically fly a kite? That has to be a thing of the past, right?
No, I used to fly. My aunt and uncle took me to fly a kite. It's very fun. It's very fun. They took me They took me and my sister actually. We got our own. I had a Spider-Man kite. My sister was really into Hello Kitty, so she got a Hello Kitty kite. It was really fun.
The beach? Okay. I mean, that's...
We also went dog walking with their dog. Their dog was like twice my size at the time.
Feels different than just being like in my backyard. Probably gets people blown up for the fucking shins. Just immediately standing next to a power line.
String or nylon can conduct electricity, especially when they're wet.
So you just flying straight into it?
Watch out!
Watch out! Oh, Dad, he died.
Watch out! There can't be any more of them, right?
Man, how often are these kids dying? God.
Stay out.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Or maybe you just want to have a video talking about how the
often these kids
teach your kids why you need to wear a seatbelt, right? Timmy, I'm gonna teach you know how we're in the car and mom drinks a lot, and you have to buckle up in the back seat. If you don't, this is what's gonna happen. Press play, Michael.
Like most victims, Julie knew her killer. It was her son. He wasn't wearing his seatbelt. After crushing her to death...
This is educational, by the way. Educational.
He sat back down. Think. Always wear a seatbelt.
How much force would it take for you? Because those seats do not. Those seats are made in like built into the car. I think
My God, this does not help women
that guy.
drivers
He probably would have been obliterated. If that,
and the
you have
plague that
much
surrounds
pressure
them,
to
dude.
crush
Justice
her.
for women drivers, justice for us men on the road. Am I right? Or what about fireworks safety? You know, sometimes you like to get a couple Chinese firecrackers and
Lose a
have some
couple
fun with your
fingers.
friends. I think that's fine. I really wish that there was some kind of video that helped you know how
There
to.
was a video of a guy. He just put a firecracker into his mouth. He didn't die. He didn't even do like that much damage, but bro, he was just moaning and shit.
To be safe, though.
If you do that, though, your head will probably explode.
Strict
People
on
just be
fair.
doing anything for
Not out giving any harm, is it?
Yeah, you can't hold kids back though.
He's acting like he just got shot.
Sorry, Hunter. Is something funny?
Saying it's such a
Wendigoon? What is Wendigoon doing
thing
here?
as discipline. Fair discipline.
I like the kid. I like his buddy just running away.
I gotta
Anyways,
get
Kevin,
out.
this afternoon
I
with all
gotta
those
get out of
oriental
here.
fireworks, eh? I can't be right, huh? Probably shouldn't say that, huh? All right, anyways.
For over a generation. And that's about the way
It makes it delicious.
Oh, this is an ad.
we love bad.
Let's get back.
Kind
That's a
of
porn
a video
thing.
about it. But there's
I know.
Thank you, Bad Dragon, for sponsoring.
I know what that is. I've been on the internet long enough. I know. You doing Bad
public
Dragon?
service announcement video about it. But there's some that
Yeah,
I just want
probably
to
me.
take time to talk about today
I've
that
been
I found
I've
truly
been traumatized by the unknown, the terror, the awfulness of the internet. I know what that is.
remarkable, especially
Very
because it feels so
naughty.
oddly specific, yet here we are, okay?
On George and Betty's night of romance, things got a bit too hot to handle.
Old electric blankets can kill.
Before we dive into these, we need to talk about
Electric blankets are killing. How I don't even know. I didn't even know that was a thing. Electric blankets.
a little bit of backstory to the old UK and some of the stuff that's been happening around there, eh? After World War II, the British government wanted to educate the public on safety issues that were prevalent within society. It's funny that it's kites and it's kites and farm equipment. That's what it's gonna be.
Those after like the worst war of ever in humanity, they're like, "Oh, we gotta teach the kids about kites and electric blankets, mate. You
So
guys
the Central
have
Office
it."
of Information, or the COI for short, started to produce public information films, aka PIFs.
Smuggling
These were
pets.
safety videos on how to survive a nuclear
Nuclear
attack,
war.
protecting the environment, or not wasting water. They started off fairly tame from the 40s to 60s, but by the time the 70s rolled around, COI wanted to throw a wrench in how the information was
Did you
being
say a
showcased.
mug?
Instead of just telling people
Was it bear
safety
trap?
information through boring educational videos, they decided that it would be much more effective to
Cigarettes?
create
Yeah,
brutal
Don't they show like smokers' lungs on the side of a cigarette now?
films and commercials
At
showcasing
least in the
children
back of
dying
the
in
UK.
various dangerous scenarios.
Like,
That's a
just
big ramp up
doing
immediately.
kills.
60s is just someone just being like, why don't you just turn off the faucet, eh? And the next one, it's a girl like drowning in a bathtub. The COI hired fresh film students to basically make horror films for the public to scare children
It sounds like a fun job, not gonna lie.
into this information. I don't know if they really digested it, but let me tell you, their attention was certainly grabbed. The director specifically looked at Hollywood horror and Western films in
Smoking.
order to imitate their styles of suspense and gore. And they're awesome, okay? They are awesome. And since these were labeled as educational films, the directors were given a lot more freedom with
gas
censorship
mask?
and were able to show much more graphic content that was allowed at the time. This was during the age of video nasties where films were getting banned and stuff. And to have the government, to have the queen just be like, oh, I don't really care, just fucking make it. It's pretty crazy. To be fair, especially child death. It's a big no-no. Still it is today. I'm always like, who gives a whenever there's a movie where like a kid gets stabbed to death, I'm like, because it's like, why not? Well, we don't want us to, I don't want it to be an unlikable film. It's about a serial murderer. Hello?
That's why The Blob is awesome.
Yeah, when the kid gets sucked down in the blob, that's a moment where everyone triumphs together. You don't need to go Lars von Trier, where it's a dad hunting children, right? But I'm just saying, if they're already in the war path, let them go. Now we are graced with a plethora of these beautiful masterpieces.
Was
of
that a reference to
Lars
something?
von Trier, where it's a dad hunting children, right? But I'm just saying, during this era, but I just want to focus on a couple that stand out to moi. The first is a haunting commercial called Lonely Water, which showcases the Grim Reaper taunting children to come jump in a body of water.
It seems too ordinary, but that pool is deep. The boy is showing off. The bank is slippery.
It was impossible to expect a moral awakening from humankind itself. Just like it was
kids died. You gotta have some respect.
It's like it's like the Lady of the Lake. You know what I mean? No, it's not just like King Arthur. The video is aimed to warn children of the dangers of careless or foolhardy behavior in the vicinity of water. Any body of water. The Grim Reaper will show up and be like, come on in. Lonely Water is widely recalled as one of the most memorable and chilling PSAs of all time. This film campaign actually worked as many viewers were scared to swim in dangerous waters. Some even said that they were too frightened to swim at all. Come on, Tommy, let's just go to the pool. Just like, well, so I can have the Grim Reaper grab me by the ankles and drag me below? You, Mom. Or Mom, my bad. This PSA caused a lot of nightmares with young British children. And when I say a lot of nightmares, I mean, I think that it was reported, I think people even complained that my child is suffering from night terrors because the Grim Reaper is in our bathtub now, okay?
Isn't that a good thing?
Moving on, we have my personal favorite. This is an offensive one. We need to just get that one out of the way, right? Because we're going to talk about the PSA from 1975 labeled Apaches. This 26-minute long film addresses the dangers of children digging around on farms. If you're a farmer in Britain, I imagine you have to have several children, because at least a couple. The way this PSA plays out, you're losing a couple kids, and no one seems to mind. And this PSA has been played in schools all over Britain, Canada, Australia, and even the United States. It's that infamous. It's that popular. The production value is amazing. If you put up a side-by-side of Solo, 100 Days of Sodom, and Apaches, you would not know the difference, the quality of, it's like, it looks like any other film that came out of that time. The plot follows 6 young children. They're all ages 8 to...
This is probably gonna do child death, so if you're not comfortable with that, also this is educational.
10 years old.
So click off now if you don't want to watch children die.
You have Kim, Sharon, Michael, the daft one.
Michael, wearing a red band. He's daft. The Apaches never wore red.
Danny, a.k.a. Geronimo! Tom, and Robert, as they play on a nearby farm pretending to be Apache Indians. Just want to say right now, Hollywood did a lot of damage to the perception of Native Americans of this country, so if that's the case, just know.
This country? That was this, again, what's it called? The British.
Not our problem. Yeah, this is 1975 Britain. I don't think they really give a good...
Did they even have Native Americans? They didn't even have Native Americans in there, bro.
Children are brutally killed on various different farming-related accidents, okay? This is not a directorial kind of like, watch out for moving vehicles. Nope, it's just kind of like, you were in the road. What do you expect? First death goes, the kids are all running around like a bunch of lunatics when Kim decides to hop on the back of a moving truck. As Kim is cheering for victory, the truck driver slams on his brakes, causing Kim to go flying headfirst into the tires.
Oh. Damn.
I'm sorry, Hunter. Is something funny?
I bet you that kid actor actually like fell in there and they're like, grab him! And then they went in and cut it. You put the dummy in there, which lesson 1, don't play on trucks, I think is what they're trying to say. Don't be jumping on moving vehicles, okay? And what's really up, you'll see with all of these, this is a similar motif, is that after a child dies, there is some kind of adult who comes and is getting rid of them, like getting rid of their stuff. Like in this one, the first one is they remove, there's like all these like filled coats on hangers, and then there's one empty one, and they go up and they remove the tag, and it's like so haunting. It's so tragically fucking bleak and dark. It's unreal, and they do this every time to hammer it home. It's a fun watch. Also, here's another thing too. The kids, they're playing every time. Every scenario, it's never them just being like, watch out! Like they're walking home. Look out! Never that. They're always playing. So we have no idea the lapse of time between them. So it almost reads as either the first day or just the next day, and they just don't care.
All kids
no
just
one
die
cares.
in
But
one
a day or
day?
two passes, and the kids are back on the farm again. This time playing kick the can and hide and go seek. I've played hide and seek, but the kick the can part was very odd. It did make me feel, I was like, this is like an old European thing.
Yeah,
Because
this
here
is
in America,
British.
we just close our eyes. We don't have to kick a can. Watching the kids run around and they keep focusing in. They're doing a really good job by holding the suspense, but you just know, you're like, oh, yep, there's going to be a scythe that comes down and hits the girl in the neck, or, oh, I bet that bull's going to kick that kid in half. We finally get to death number 2. Tom is being chased by Danny, and whoops, Tom slips in the slurry pit, aka it's just a pit full of cow shit, and he drowns.
Drowns in cow poo? Oh. You're not gonna do nothing? His reaction is no reaction.
I
He's
hate
just
that
like,
shot when they show the kid looking like this, because it makes me think, I'm like, oh, he knows he's in there and he's not saying anything. Ah! And then he just drowns immediately.
damn.
You're especially in shit water. That's all poop. It's a slurry pit. Which I want to say, Danny looking off was very suspicious. By this one, you can kind of tell too, he's kind of the leader of the group. He's kind of our main guy. Lesson 2, don't play near pits of hell and
Don't
shit.
play
I
near
guess this one could
pits.
also be water.
I think it's specifically the slurry pits, because that was like a big problem.
Oh, so it's okay. So this one is just for the time. They're just like, these kids, goddamn. We're having to scour and scuba dive down these slurry pits, find all these pale beauties.
A decade or so later, they had to tell farmers to cover up their slurry pits. It was that bad.
That many British children were falling into slurry pits where they're just like, I hate to do this to everyone, but we're just gonna have to throw a net over all of it. With the second death, they take stuff out of his desk. Once again, another very tragic thing. But then it's just once we don't see anybody mourn. Usually, that's why I was surprised here, because I expected to see like a mom. You know what I mean? We move on to death number 3. Which more time passes, once again, could be 30 minutes, could be a day, not enough time.
Who knows?
We know that the kids are back on the farm again, and boy, oh boy, are they playing. This time, the kids all huddle around each other and pour a mysterious liquid from a bottle they found in the barn.
Damn.
And there is, I'm pretty sure, a part where one of the British kids says something like, a little bit of firewater from the white face.
In celebration of our victory, we will drink the white man's firewater.
Because they're playing a match.
Damn. Damn.
Even when I heard that, I was like,
Ooh, yikes.
No, the smart ones of the group just pretend to drink the poison, but Sharon actually takes a drink from this non-labeled cup. I thought the acting here was kind of good because she like took a sip of it and she's like,
You alright, Sharon? Yeah, I think so.
are you okay, Sharon? But later that night, we see Sharon go into a house. We cut, it's nighttime, and then it's just horrible, horrible child screaming.
Oh my god. Dear God.
I mean, it's wild. And once again, you cut to the next
Damn.
day, and the mom is just taking shit out of her room. She's just like, well, that one's gone. That's why earlier too, I was like, these guys gotta have like 8 children. They're like, well, there goes Sharon. Yeah, can I make
So we don't even know what happened to her? She just died?
me room, Mom? Their lesson 3 is don't drink mysterious liquids. You dumb little bitch. I felt so mad because I actually like Sharon. Out of all the kids, I was
Damn.
like, she seemed the coolest. We move on to death.
Damn, she just died?
Next day, the kids go back to playing without any
We
time
know
to
what killed her,
mourn
but
once again,
like,
and we're
exactly
gonna beat that
what?
to death. I cannot tell you, this is a no-fat 20 minutes, okay? There's no room for emotion. This is just telling you how it is.
Ready? Ready. 1, 2, 3. Freeze!
That thing's falling. That thing falling. Oh. That killed? What killed?
We're here for
I felt like it.
convertible?
Well, it could have weighed like 100
about
pounds. Who knows? And he just dies? Just instantly? Damn.
I love how every time a child dies, it has to be Danny doing. Also,
His
in my mind, I was
reaction's
like,
so
if I
funny.
was that, I wouldn't die from that. But lesson 4 is watch your surroundings.
Don't get hit by metal gates.
Don't let things fall on top of you. I was kind of like, this one felt like the actual first accident. Everything else felt like a stupid act. I was like, leading into death, number 5. At this point, there are only 2 kids left to play Apaches. And let me tell you, it's a somber scene on top of the hill. You guys are really still gonna play the fucking game after all your friends have
continue.
died this week?
Continue.
You know what I mean? Danny goes up this hill and he's talking to some of the old blokes at the top of the hill. And he gets on a tractor.
Oh, he's gonna get crushed.
The guy's like, be careful. He's like, yeah, piss off. Immediately
Piss off,
releases
Mike.
the brakes. I mean,
Yeah.
almost instantaneously. This is probably the funniest death just because the tractor is going so slow. You're screaming at the movie the entire time, jump off. For the love of God, Danny, jump off. Your name is Geronimo. Jump off. It's so slow.
Bro.
Even the guys that turn around, they're confused. They're just like, jump off.
Jump off. He literally turns into it. Bruh. Damn.
There's just something about a small British child being like, ah! And then just like seeing like a dummy with like, they like tape or glue the hands to the steering wheel and it's just like going down a hill. They barely hold a fucking beat before they show his mom just sitting in his room like,
no emotion.
it's the first time that we see any emotion from anybody of someone being like, this was his room. The lessons, of course, is being stay off heavy machinery, right? The film ends with only one child surviving, which is Michael. I was surprised he was kind of the most, you know. But Danny mentioned earlier in the film that his parents were preparing for a party because they're in between. He's just like, oh, I don't understand why adults like parties. Turns out it was all, that was future stuff and that they were preparing for Danny's, what do you call after a funeral? Wake? Whatever, his after funeral party. It's so crazy because they're all sitting there and they're like, they do not look like they could give any fucks at all. They're like, oh, you're gonna pass the cone? Pretty nice day today, right? That's it. And then while this awkward clattering of plates happens, they show a list of all of the kids in Britain who have died like that year from all of these things. A lot of explosions. A haunting amount of explosions. Okay. People being crushed, drowned, I mean, like, it leaves a weird taste in your mouth, okay? Especially after you're just like, well, that's Apaches. Thanks, British government.
I wish I would have saw that as a kid. I feel like that would have fucked me up good.
I would be like, okay, I'm never going to be around any of that. I don't care.
I don't even live in a rural area.
Farm, and we used to fuck around. And I felt like we could have seriously got hurt.
Would it have swayed you at all that they were British?
No.
I wouldn't have been able to move past it. Knowing me as a kid, I'd be like, they sound funny. They sound weird. Is this Harry Potter?
Back then, when I was younger, I was like extremely xenophobic towards British people for some reason. I don't know why.
Or what? Next up, we have.
I hated Peppa Pig. I hated
a beautiful PSA called "The Finishing Line." This is a controversial PSA. All right, this is a
controversial. Bill, we saw like 8 children die.
Like
this one is controversial.
Movie.
It is, yeah. It's a Horowski movie. It feels like a Michael Haneke movie or like a Lars von Trier movie or some shit. It feels weird. It all takes place inside the mind of a demented child who thinks of 4 horrible, tragic, sickening games that you can play on a train track. This whole PSA is about, yeah, don't go near train tracks. And they decide to be like, well, what if it was from the mind of a child who's thinking about going on the train tracks? And this is what they came up with. Haunting. Bruh. The short starts off with the headmaster of a school warning children not to play on a train tracks, but the camera zooms slowly on the sadistic child as he starts to tell us his imagination. And when we say that the headmaster of a school warns the children, it sounds like God yelling at human beings for all the wrongdoings, does it not?
Some of you have been playing on the railway again. You are old enough to understand that the railway is not the place for any kind of games.
Also, worth pointing out that the actual child is sitting 50 feet in the air on a ledge on a bridge where that kid could fall off. Just the actor. They're just like, sit up there and wobble
Not
around.
even like
He's like, the wind's cold up here. He's like, shut up. The first game, the sickle picks up, involves children breaking down a fence like wild animals and then running across train tracks to get points for this weird thing.
Oh, she did. You're gonna get run over.
Through all the chaos of the children screaming, to not even
she
hear
just
the girl be
died.
like,
She didn't even get run over. She
just
just
is like,
tripped
they're
and
passed
fell
out.
and died.
This is up too, because you know those kids could have moved this little girl. They could have.
They
There's
could have
8 of them.
moved her.
She weighs 30 pounds. Like, get that off the
They're
train
trying
tracks,
to move
dude.
her.
Nope.
Did they have like no strength, bro? Well, R.I.P. bro.
Okay. And there you go.
Oh wait, what's even horrifying is they pick the body up and they show it after it's smushed.
Well, yeah, they show away because you're like, oh my god, oof. And then after the fact, they're just like, nope. By the way, her bloody dead body right here. Take a look. All right, here
I don't think she's still in one piece. I don't think she'll
this is
be
once
in
again
one
inside
piece.
the mind of a child. And then move on to game 2, which it just the game is throwing rocks at trains, which I have heard. You know, people have thrown rocks at trains before, but the point system is like if you break through the windows or if you hit the people in the cart, you get points. And they're throwing these color-coded rocks at these trains. The train stops. At first, it kind of looks like, oh, he's gonna be pissed. You're like, oh shit, because even the kids are like. Cut inside the train, the guy's like walking around, he's like green through the rock through the window, fantastic, and it like the camera pans out a bit, and there's a guy like like blood everywhere. He's like, all right, hit a passenger, walking through, and then the train conductor's like like bloodied and battered, and they do another point system.
Yo, look at his teeth. Hold up.
Like
the fuck happened to your teeth, bro? It's probably
bloodied
rocks.
and battered, and they do another point system. You get more points for breaking the kid's face open. My God. You move on to game 3. The next game is some weird game of chicken where the kids have to run across the track while the train goes like 100 miles an hour. The game makes no sense. It's like a person has to stand with a sign. By the time the train gets to the sign, the person flips it like a go. It's on stop and it goes to go. And they're supposed to run across, but instead like 7 kids just get plowed. And you're like, they do their little tallies up again. People are like, oh shit. Oh, there goes my team. It's a goddamn massacre. It's 6 to 10 kids just brutally murdered, and there's just blood all over the tracks. It's gruesome as shit. And then game 4 is this kind of messed me up a little bit. It's called the Great Tunnel Walk. Does that not sound cryptid and horrifying? The objective of the game is to walk down a 3
train is gonna come and
black,
like, none of the kids are gonna
track,
get,
and to see who gets on the other side first.
This is my prediction. A train's gonna come through, and like only like 1 kid's gonna make it through the other side.
Here's the kicker: they send trains down the tunnel.
Trains,
so you gotta just
like
play.
multiple?
There's no lights on the train. That's one thing I saw too. Whenever watching the video, I'm like, "There's no lights on the train," so you can hear it coming, but good luck. And like, it takes a weird moment, and the camera pans down to the tunnel, and you just see like this kid like limping, covered in blood, walking out, whatever. And they're like,
I was right.
Fist, okay, what's your name? Like, and you see like kids limping out, and then of course everyone else in the tunnel is just dead. Then it cuts to a bunch of parents carrying hordes of dead children and like laying them ceremoniously on the track. And it's like this actually kind of artistically like pretty cool shot, but I was just like, just a weird sadistic game, which honestly, these kind of things, I'm like, of course a child would think of this. You know what I mean? It's like no empathy or care. They're just like, and then people had to walk through the train, and whoever comes out first wins. Which the final shot of the film is you zoom out of a child's face as he still thinks about his train game. Like the film doesn't even end with him being like, nah, I'm okay. It's him still being like, what other games can I think of? This is a more evil
this kid's just
PSA.
evil.
This one, the other ones, you're like,
evil.
oh, the kids, you know, sure, there's some funny stuff. This one, I was like, that's a psychopath. And at the end, I like how you're supposed to be like, don't go near trains. It's like, no, stay away from kids dangling off a 50-foot train archway.
Monster.
When I was on a train, my mom told me, don't play by the train tracks. There's this story of these 2 10-year-olds who stole like a 3-year-old and threw rocks at him at a train track and let him get run over by a train track.
What?
That shit fucked me up for life. My mom told me when I was like 8 years old.
I don't think that's even like a train track thing. I think that's just kids being evil.
Start making a PSA for your ass, dude, for real. The last PSA we're talking about is building sites.
Because isn't in train tracks there's like one rail that if you touch it just immediately kills you because like it's electricity and shit.
Bite, made in 1978. The film was made to warn children of the dangers of playing on construction sites. And it was made in response to more than 20 children dying in 1977 due to building sites accidents. 20 children, that's a lot. Why are you in construction building sites? Farms, you can be like, oh, animals, or oh, like my family works on it. What the fuck is bringing your child to work? You know, like why are you there? The film all takes place inside the head of a boy named Paul and a sadistic fantasy of torturing his cousin, Ronald. The British really had a hard-on for like being like, it's all from
Evil
the perspective
kids.
of a weird child. As you see, Ronald wants to be an architect or a surveyor when he's older, but his cousin Paul thinks he's stupid and he looks like a toad. And there's a very uncanny incident where you like have him wear a toad mask and he's like, ribbit, ribbit. I remember I was like, you can tell Ronald's a bit of a timid little bird. And I think his probably not so intelligent cousin is jealous. And he's just like, oh, you're so special. You look like a fucking frog. Also, the way Paul is looking at Ronald is so seductive. The only thing he didn't do was do the lip bite. Otherwise than that, he was just like,
are you looking at him like
Paul has the sick and twisted thought of wanting to stick Robert in a construction site and see if it'll get him killed, because he's just like, you could never live here in this deconstructed neighborhood of misfits like me and my sister live in, eh? So he puts Ronald through a ringer of tests to see if his construction site knowledge holds up and if he would survive. We move on to our test. Test number 1. Ronald ignores every warning sign that is in front of him. He randomly picks up a stick and starts stoking the flames of an already burning fire. He kind of like aggressively shoves at it like a primate. Ronald's like walking around like a weird ditch. He sees his dog down there. He's waiting for people to rescue him. The walls miraculously cave in and crush him. And you just see his dead hand. Test 2. Ronald walks into a dilapidated house. Again, Ronald ignores the danger signs and walks up the stairs and almost falls out a window. Ronald grabs a live wire and gets electrocuted.
What's up with electrocution? Oh, damn.
There's just something about the child death screams that are just so funny. Ronald's having a hard time through these tests. He is in a literal jigsaw torture trap right now in the mind of a sadistic child, and he is not winning the game. Test 3. Ronald has to traverse a field full of heavy work machinery when his dog Snoopy watches Ronald get crushed by a tractor.
Do kids not look left to right? Were you guys not taught that?
A bloody shoe is all that remains. We can't show that shoe. That shoe is caked in blood, dude. Test 4. Ronald walks through a brick house renovation, but then Ronald, unfortunately, slips on a pipe.
Oh, that shit's muddy as fuck. Yeah, you're slipping, bro. Damn.
You know what's too is he's dressed like a 53-year-old man too. It doesn't
help.
Why
is he dressed so proper?
Like this weird surreal creature walking around dying on construction sites, dude. Test 5. Ronald plays insane. His dog watches Ronald get smashed by a ton of bricks while he's playing in sand.
Oh, your dog is not worth all this shit. Oh, uh-oh.
This kid, and they keep snapping him back, like reviving him and having him do these tests, but he gets crushed or is just laying bloodied and battered at the end of every fucking test.
What's really funny is throughout the whole thing, they keep telling him read the signs, and every skit is him ignoring the signs.
Ronald, read the sign. Okay, maybe I will. And then he gets electrocuted. And then the last test, test 6, the crane, which Ronald's cousin watch him drown to death.
Damn, bro, he's your cousin. He's not that deep. Bruh, that rope.
Oh no! Do something, Paul! What can I do? Are you sure he can't swim? Of course!
He is drowning!
Ronald!
Ronald!
Not even much of a fight, it's just him under the water. But luckily, it was all a fantasy and Ronald's fine. I feel like the real Ronald could have survived that, dude. He was well put together. I think the little pig cousin, I think he's the one who would have been drowning and tripping and all that stuff, you know what I mean? In conclusion, scaring kids to get them to learn lessons is very valuable and funny, and I think we should continue to do it. I think scaring children is one of the funnest things to do. See you next time. No. Very Fairy tales and stories and urban legends just aren't enough, dude. Instilling fear with these PSAs, I think, needs to be a long-standing tradition, and I'm glad that these epicenters of knowledge exist today. And I think that we need to bring them back, dude. I don't know how, but we need to bring it back. Until next time, these are some creepy, weird British PSAs.
Alright, that's the end of this video, guys. Oh, he looking at me like he wants it. Yeah, he wanted it. I'm gonna touch it. Okay. I'm gonna tug on it tonight to that face. I'm gonna look at it. Just joking. Okay. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later. Bye bye.